Stop it. Get some help.
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace.
Stop the cap. Emotional damage.
Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help.
So this video is what the title says, right? And I was enjoying myself today. But one thing that took a little bit of a, my temporarily good day took a bit of a hit was, finding out that Fulham did exactly what I knew they would do, which is get smoked by Man City. Obviously, we haven't played our game yet because it's tomorrow. But if only we had beaten Aston Villa. If only we had beaten Aston Villa. That's how I'm looking at it. Because pre-Aston Villa game, right, we were in pole position. All we had to do was win all our games, right? Now, while it's still possible for Arsenal to win the league, mathematically, it's still possible. For me, you know what I mean? Like, we could drop points tomorrow. Man City could drop points at Spurs, and we could still fumble the league on goal difference. You know what I mean? See how Man City are racking up goals now? I'm telling you, other teams make it so it's virtually impossible to overcome Man City at this stage of the season for the title. It's almost impossible. The reason why I say that is because teams make it that way. This could have been any other team fighting for the title against Man City, and they'd have fumbled a game like we did against Aston Villa. You know what I mean? You put a team that Man City are within reach of, right? And all that team above them needs to do is just win all their games. They won't do it. But when Man City needs to do it, they do it. You know what I mean? There's a few things that could happen, right? We could win tomorrow. Man City could win at Spurs. And then Man City win against West Ham. And then they've won the league, right? And we can win our next two games and it don't matter. Or we could win tomorrow. Man City could drop points against Spurs. Let's say they lose against Spurs. And then we beat Everton. And it don't matter what they're doing against West Ham. And then we could win the league. Or we could win tomorrow. Man City could draw against Spurs. And then we both win our last game and it goes on goal difference. Or we could drop points tomorrow and then Man City win the league at White Hart Lane. You know what I mean? Or we could drop points tomorrow. Man City could drop points against Spurs. And then it goes to the last day. If only we had beaten Aston Villa. And people can say what they want. But when it comes to you need to do this, we're not doing it. We ain't doing it. Now, I'm looking at the City v Spurs game. Obviously, Spurs won today. It would be so Spurs to get something against Man City because Spurs can still get top four. Like, there's no guarantee Villa will win their remaining two games. They've got Liverpool on Monday, and then they'll go to Crystal Palace on the last day. And Crystal Palace have found form. Spurs know how to beat Man City. And I'm sure they'll take care of Sheffield United on the last day. So if Villa were to not win in the next two games and Spurs win their next two games, Spurs get fourth. And that would not surprise me one bit because we had Unai Emery as manager. He fumbled top four for us. I can see him doing it for Villa. Villa could have seen top four out long time. All that to do was beat Brian. Couldn't do it. See? Yet people will sit here and trying to gaslight Arsenal fans, talking about, you should have got rid of Unai Emery, mate. All right. Let's see if Unai Emery nails top four for Aston Villa. Because that Europa Conference, he got us to a European final at least. You know what I mean? Get out of here, man. But if only we'd have beaten them, man, we'd be sat here like, all we need to do is beat Man U and beat Everton. It won't matter what City are doing. You know what I mean? City, they'll do what they do. No. I still don't think we'll beat Man U tomorrow. I have to say it. Because I just know us. I know us too well. On paper, we should be absolutely annihilating these, man. But you never know. We might do what we did against West Ham against them, 6-0 or some shit. That I'll be more surprised if we score more than one goal at Old Trafford. Like say if we go 2-0 up, I'll be shocked. You know what I mean? Because we never go 2-0 up at Old Trafford. Never in the Premier League. People need to understand how poor our record is at Old Trafford. You know what? The more I think about this now, the more I believe it's West Ham at home and Fulham away that fucked us because we had at least one. Yeah, I know, but because of the position we were in before that Villa game, Liverpool had lost at home to Crystal Palace. That was poor position for us. All right, we've got Aston Villa. Right, let's beat them. And we fumbled that. But yeah, the Fulham dropping points, especially Fulham at home as well. And West Ham, Fulham, Aston Villa at home. Those three are the main ones. Fulham away, I think we scored first as well in that game. You know what I mean? Those are the games that did it. Because apart from Villa at home, we hadn't lost a game in 2024. No, we haven't. And it's funny how Liverpool dropped points. Liverpool lost at home to Crystal Palace. And then we go lose for the first time in 2024 in the league. I'm pissed. Honestly, I'm screwing. I'm screwing. This season, the stage that we were in was time the time to do something. And while it's still possible, let's just face it. Let's face it. We know it's all going to come down to that Spurs game. So now it's going to depend on how much do they want top four because they can still get fourth. Oops. My iPhone's tipping. Hold on. I think that was on the cable a little bit. Spurs can still get top four. That's very much on the cards. You know what I mean? And if Villa just need 3 points. Villa get 3 points, that's it. Top four's done. I don't think Villa will beat Liverpool on Monday. Which means Spurs will have something to fight for. We know the fans want the players to down tools. But I said before, I don't think Ange gives a shit about the rivalry. All he cares about is what's best for the club. I can't see Ange telling his players to down tools. He don't give a shit. He doesn't strike me as that. I said this previous. Ange Postecoglou does not strike me as a kind of guy that'll be like, yo, you know what? Arsenal are about to win the league probably. So let's just make sure it doesn't happen. No, he's not thinking like that. He's thinking, look, top four still on. Let's go get it. I can get you, man, into Champions League football next season. I can attract you better players, blah, 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 blah. That's how he's thinking of it. And, as I said, it would be so Spurs to get something against Man City. But what are we going to do tomorrow? You know what I mean? Because I reckon if we drop points tomorrow, I can definitely see Spurs getting something against Man City. And then we're going to look at it and be like, imagine if we'd have beaten Man U. I've already accepted that City will probably do a 4 in a row, but could you actually imagine if we win tomorrow and City drop points to Spurs? I know. And then all we need to do is beat Everton, and we'd like to think that, that we'll take care of Everton. You know what I mean? With all that energy Spurs are giving to stopping us. It would be very Spurs. It would be so them to take something off City, but with Man City never, ever bottled the league late on. If they're not going to win the league, we know by February they're not going to win the league. But they're still in the title race in April, May. Nah, if they're in it, they're winning it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Just look at when Liverpool won the league in 2020. We all knew Liverpool were going to do it. You know what I mean? Man City, I'm sure that's when Man City got a defensive crisis, injuries and stuff like that. Man City was completely fell off. And Liverpool just blitzed it. You know what I mean? Had City been in the title race up until May of 2020, Liverpool wouldn't have won the league. You know what I mean? Liverpool wouldn't have won that. You know what I mean? That's for tomorrow. I think if we score early, we'll destroy United. If we struggle to score and they just park the bus, then that's where we might hurt us. I think if we score early, if we go 4-0 up early, then I think that we'd win the game. I don't think Man U would come back from that. I think the 3-0, if we're going 3-0 up, we saw at Spurs, we went 3-0 up, and then we just, second half, Spurs won 2-0 in the second half, kind of thing. So it depends on how we do it. It just depends on how we do it. But I'd be if we're 2-0 up early, I'd be worried, because Man U, there'll be enough time for them to get back in the game. You know what I mean? It has to be. It has to be we're proper, kind of like what we did to Sheffield United a little bit. It has to be a mixture of that, where it's like, we'll pam you, and if you try and do anything, we'll just pam you again, kind of thing. It has to be that kind of game. If it's just one of those, we're 3-0 up and we're only in 35 minutes, and then we're just not doing anything more, then United could get back into the game. You know what I mean? I can't believe Arsenal got sloppy and drew and lost some easy games this season. Yeah, it'll be the death of this frigging club. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? It's honestly,
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace.
if it goes down to 1 point, going to go back to that VAR mess at Newcastle, that was clear foul. Yeah, but we should be beating Fulham at home as well. You know what I mean? Fulham twice, West Ham at home, and Villa at home. For me, they're the main ones for me. You know what I mean? Obviously, the VAR mess at Newcastle, and we were robbed at Villa Park, but Fulham took 4 points off us this season. West Ham, we slapped them 6-0 at their ground. We couldn't even beat them at the Emirates. Villa beat us 2-0 at the Emirates. It's ridiculous. Fulham, West Ham, Villa, not games to mess up. We shouldn't be fumbling that. And then we're all going to look at them games now. And it's like, I mean, it's just depressing. I know how it's going to go. I mean, Liverpool, when Liverpool won the league in 2020, that was a freak of a season, right? Man City haven't fumbled the league. Man City haven't lost the league when they've actually been trying to fight for it. When you think about it, when Pep came, he came to England for the first time. Managing in England for the first time, and he needed to work with what he had. Conte was on a madness with Chelsea, right? Then Pep was like, okay, this ain't working out, that ain't working out. Even though realistically, other managers have come into the Premier League and won it straight away, but it is what it is. Then the season after, he won it, and he got 100 points. And then he won it the season after, won a domestic treble. Didn't win it in 2020. Freak of a season. Since that, he's won it when it's been close. Well, the 2021 one wasn't close. Man U were the ones that were second and they finished like 12 odd points behind Man City. But otherwise, when it's been close, Man City always do it. You know what I mean? So we haven't seen Man City try and win the league, right? And lose it. Because 2020, they were way off. Like, they were just, Liverpool were just blitzing and City were just dropping too many points early. So everybody knew they weren't going to do it. You know what I mean? I think as long as Pep's there as well, as long as he's there, Man City are going to keep winning the league. Honestly. They'll win it next season, they'll win it the season after, and they'll win it. I don't know when his contract expires, but they're going to win the league every season till at least bare minimum till he's gone. And what we will do is we'll keep finishing second behind them. You know what I mean? We will be the new Arteta will be the new Klopp in terms of his energy is going to get drained trying to win the league against Pep. You know what I mean? Arteta is going to need a freak of a season that Klopp got in 2020 to overcome it. You know what I mean? We need to see Man City not win the league again, just to be sure that, oh yeah, maybe it is possible. You know what I mean? In my opinion, most people know there's corruption in Prem, got to overcome it. Yeah. It is what it is with that. It's about overcoming it now. We had our chance. We just have to go again next season, tighten up, get quality depth. I don't think personally at this point, I don't think there's anything we can do now. I'm actually being serious. I don't know what else is there to do now. Because as long as it's close in April, May, Man City are still within reach. They're going to win all their games. Look at last season. These men won all their games till they clinched the league. They clinched the league against, we lost against Forest, which gave them the league. And then that Sunday, they drew against Chelsea, I think. Or did they beat them? No, they beat Chelsea, sorry. They beat Chelsea at Etihad. And then they drew against Brighton and then lost the last game against Brentford. That would not happen if the league wasn't won yet. It's almost like there's like a spell that just switches on. You know what I mean? These men are winning by like 4-0 and all that shit now. We weren't doing that early on. You know what I mean? Nah, man, Ateta and Josh have their phases and machine crunching. We will sort out our pieces needed. But then if City keep winning every year while Pep is here, then how do we expect Arteta to win something like he should? For me, Arteta has to win something. But I don't want to contradict myself. Well, this is why I'm saying, stop throwing away EFL Cups, FA Cups, and European trophies. Stop throwing them away. You know what I mean? I said before, if you're winning the EFL Cup here, an FA Cup there, Europa League or something here and there, while you're trying to win the league, I can take that. Because you're occupying the fan base and you're getting the status of the club even further up and making us more successful. You know what I mean? But this whole being too obsessed with trying to win the league isn't healthy, because you look at other cup competitions and be like, you're in the way. I just want to win the league. You know what I mean? Whereas me, I'm I can only speak for me, but I'm looking at it as anything we're in, let's try and win that. I mean, let's try and win it. I mean, now we know when it comes to competing against Man City, end of the day, they're still human beings. But the way these men are should up our game. Trent, I think was it Trent Alexander-Arnold that said that the battle with City, it forced us to up our game or whatever. That's what it should do. I said last season, you damn near have to be invincible to beat Man City to the league. You have to be. You have to be. I mean, why were we dropping points against Fulham, West Ham, and them? We were in pole position. All we had to do was win all our remaining games. Liverpool, who were the closest to us at the time, lost at home to Crystal Palace. What did we do? We fumbled it against Villa. How is everyone mad when we all said they had the easiest running? What, you mean City had the easiest running? Because I think City's running, well, for City, it's the easiest. The only thing that's maybe difficult for City is that Spurs game. Whereas us, still no excuse. I mean, we took care of Chelsea, took care of Brighton, Bournemouth. I mean, we took care of all these teams, but we couldn't take care of Villa. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm fuming. It's fuming. I mean, I haven't seen the highlights of the City game yet. But we just know what the deal is. And we've only got ourselves to blame. Well, the players have got themselves to blame. Because they knew what they had to do. Arteta, the players, they all knew what they needed to do. I mean, losing against Aston Villa at home. Yes, it had the easiest running. Lion Spurs, come on, man. They will fold Spurs' style. This is the thing. Being in a position where we're relying on other teams, that's what's pissed me off. Because had we beaten Villa, it wouldn't matter what anyone did. If we'd have beaten Villa right now, we'd be 3 points better off. It wouldn't matter what City are doing. I wouldn't care if they were winning 10-0. Don't care. All we need to do is win. You know what I mean? But it's harder to focus on yourselves now, knowing that if they win all their games, they've won the league. Well, Liverpool had an easy run in to look at them now. City are really dominating in front of our very eyes. Yeah, that's the thing. Liverpool, they had an easy run. I looked at it as the Villa game would be a tricky one for Liverpool. That was the next game I was looking at. Well, the Spurs and the Villa one. I thought Spurs would get something at Anfield like a draw. And then obviously going to Villa ain't going to be easy. But now I'm looking at it. Look at Liverpool now, and it's like, obviously they took care of Spurs. I think they'll take care of Villa anyway. But both teams fumbled in front of Man City. They collapsed at the bum. They collapsed. And now, for a start, we need to take care of Man U tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's first things first. Win that game. Just win that game. Not draw, none of that bollocks. Just win that game. You know what I mean? Because then City have more games. Obviously, they've got the extra game in hand. So that we're just relying on two teams now. Either Spurs and West Ham. Just get something against them. Get anything at this point. Last season, City drew and lost their last two games. Do you think they'll do that this time? I guarantee you they won't. And this is what I'm saying. This is the point I'm making. You know what I mean? Last season, when City clinched the league, the when we lost at Forest, that clinched City the league. Then they played Chelsea at Etihad the following day, right? And I think they beat them 1-0 or something. And then they went and drew against Brighton away, who they beat this season now. And then they lost at Brentford, who they already beaten this season now. You know what I mean? The league was done, so it didn't matter. They had 2 cup finals to look forward to. You think this time around these men are going to be getting 1 point out of the last 2? You know what I mean? If City had clinched the league today, they probably won't win the last 2 games. You know what I mean? I don't think we've collapsed like Liverpool have this season. Nothing like us last season, but too many individual losses fucked us up. For me, we've just done it in a different manner. That's all it is. We just did it in a different manner. I think like the fumbling against Bayern Munich, if it wasn't going to be those games, that would have been 2 league games. You know what I mean? If we didn't, that draw against Bayern Munich, if we didn't have Champions League, we would have drawn someone in the league with that. And then that loss against Bayern Munich, we would have lost to someone else in the league with that. You know what I mean? Nothing's changed. We still fumbled 3 games in a row. It's just that 2 of them were a Champions League game, and Aston Villa were just in between it. You know what I mean? Nothing's changed. Unfortunately. We haven't learned. But as I said in my other video, the only chance of us showing armpit at Wembley is if Man City were to win the double and we get them in the Community Shield. That's where we are. That is where we are now. We're a Community Shield team. Community Shield merchants. That's what we are now. But let's just hope for a start tomorrow we take care of Manu. Let's hope that happens, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going on holiday next week Wednesday, so I could be going on holiday knowing Arsenal have already fumbled the league, or we're still in the title race. And I come back on the last day of the season, early hours of the morning. So, the Monday morning, basically. So I'll either come back to England a very happy bunny because we've clinched the league, or how I'm already feeling because we've done what we all expect.
Emotional damage.
Anyways, I'm done with this video. Got a big game tomorrow, so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. But yeah, let's just hope that we get the 3 points tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens with City's game, or games, should I say. But anyways, like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel for all the socials. The link is in the description below. And yeah, I will see you guys for the match reaction tomorrow evening, where hopefully we've beaten Manu and we're still in this fight for the league title, because it's all we've got. Anyways, catch you guys in a bit. Peace.